Alrighty, so let's get set up for the gait and balance practice. So to get the most out of this class, setting up just like this or something comparable. Two chairs with the backs of chairs facing in. This gives us a frame around a space so that when we're doing our weight shift, or our sideways movement or single leg balance exercises or any other fancy move we might do. You've got your safety taken care of. Then you have a third chair behind that space, right? So we're not sitting right in the middle of the space, but sitting behind that space um, so that we can sit if and when we need to. All of the sort of danger element of practicing balance, we want to remove the danger element, not just so that we are safer, but in the Tai Chi context, the first most important skill is relaxing, right? So when we're tense, we're actually breaking a lot of the Tai Chi rules that allow us to move with more grace, more ease, more function, right? So tension immediately makes us less connected to the ground. So it uproots us from being grounded and it makes us heavier. So we're more likely to feel imbalance and it impedes fluid motion of the body, right? So that's why setting up a space that makes you feel comfortable and relaxed. Like, okay, in case of X, I know where I'm going to go. In case I start to lose balance, I've got these things. So setting all that up so that when we stand up and we start working on single leg balance or swinging a leg or anything else we might do, you're able to be soft and loose inside of there instead of tight, which then creates all this clumsiness and less rootedness. Okay, so there's my pitch for set your area up correctly. Um, but of course, it's your choice what you do. So now, in your sitting chair, scoot to the front edge, hands on your thighs. Find that zhong or central upright, that central pillar. Once you've got the central pillar, then that sung or soft, relaxed. I like to do this little butterfly with the legs from your groin hip area. Just kind of wag like a leisurely butterfly, just kind of gently loosening that joint, that junction. And then in the shoulder blades, a little kind of loosening up and down, hang the arms, just kind of shake out any tension in the wrists, hands, shoulders. Also in the head, feel loose in the head instead of stuck in the head. So we want this loose, relaxed body. So body upright, loose and relaxed. Now, heaviness descending, let it descend and ground you, creating a solid base and almost like a plug in a socket. So you're plugged into the ground rather than you're on the ground with this body above it. We're actually plugged in, we're rooted, we're grounded. And then when we do that with relaxation, there's that lightness, nimbleness, and fluidity and buoyancy. Inhale through the nose, long, smooth, and full. Stretching your body open. Exhale out the nose or the mouth, long, smooth, empty. Hold the breath empty. When you're ready, inhale again. Full and empty. At our first movement, slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, chin up, arch the body. And on your exhale, the opposite. Slide your hands forward past your knees, hollow the chest, drop the head and softly round the back. And again, slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, chin up, arch, and exhale. Hands forward, hollow the chest, round the back. And again, a few more. Last time, arching, and settle to neutral. Relax. Left hand forward, right hand and elbow back. Turn the shoulders, turn the head, gently twist. And back to center as you inhale and twist as you exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Couple more. We're wringing out the rag. We're moving the mechanisms of the body to clean off little stagnations, little adhesions, as I call them, the glue and the barnacles that accumulate. And those create a lack of fluidity. They create impediment. They also make us a bit clumsy, right? Wherever those have accumulated, it's sort of like dead weight that's accumulated. So we're trying to clean that out on the regular, right? And then back to middle, hang those arms loose, and let's just get the sideways, shift to the right buttock, side lean, and back to center, and lean. Back to center, lean. Center, and lean. One more each way. So remember this term in Taoist practice, Tai Chi practice, Shen Fa, body mechanism method. So we move the mechanisms, how they're built to move, and that produces function. It cleans off plaque and buildup and impediment. Now let's go shoulder blades, forward and up, back and down. A very common area of accumulation. The shoulder blades, chest, upper back, neck region. This whole region needs therapeutic shenfa, joint movements, tissue movements. One more. And reverse. And the more regularly you do the different shenfa for your body, the less impediment and plaque buildup there is, and so the less you must do it. Right? It's like flossing our teeth. The more regularly you do it, the less there is there to floss, and so it doesn't take as much. So that's the importance of this sort of daily body hygiene, as I look at it, every day. And release. Bend those elbows. Float the elbows out and up, and then down, and then in. So let's just get another layer of that buildup. And I think pretty much all of you have been coming now where hopefully these movements are not, foreign anymore. They're starting to become familiar directions of movement so that, right, there's not as much instruction required, and we can just lock into the flow of it all. We can just really get loose. Back, Two more. Back. Up. Remember, the emphasis is finishing, not forcing it to the end, but also not becoming sort of slack in your effort. So with the mind, finishing these movements all the way to their end. Elbows out, one high, one low, wrap around, hug your own body. And then out, switch, hug your own body. Out, in. Out, out, down, and release. So the idea there is those exercises give us the ability to hang these arms even looser, have them be fluid, easy to swing, that they're less stuck here, so there's less top heaviness in the body, that it's kind of emptied out, right? Scoot back on your chair just a smidge, so you're very stable. Go right knee up, gently grab, pull it further up and in, and then flex the foot. Now, push, draw up, and set it down. That's one. Let's switch to the other leg. Load, push, load, down, switch, load, push, load, down, load, push, load. Now, no hands, just your brain. Control that full range as best you can. One more of each. And this series that we're doing is a good before takeoff check-in to your body. Let's go right leg extend. Now we'll go point foot, flex foot. Point, flex. Point and flex. And then tilt in, tilt out. And circle. So if you're getting ready to go about your day, go ahead, reverse the circle. This is a 10-minute, maybe 15-minute series. Switch feet, point and flex. And it makes sure, hey, brain and body connected. Go ahead and tilt in and out. As you go through the different capabilities of the body and remember them, be like, oh yeah, my ankle does this, my shoulders do that. Go ahead and circle. It lights up the sensory nerves as well. Go ahead, reverse. Because your brain has to experience the movement and track the movement. It has to sense it, and it gives more clarity to your brain-body map to go through all the joints like this. Now, scoot forward. Step a little wider than normal so that you have a little extra room. Lift your toes, and let's internally rotate. And then lift your toes, externally rotate. Internal, external. So we're marking or carving this space where the pelvis and the legs meet, where they join, and then neutral. And then lift the heels in, knees out, and heels out, knees in. So now we're moving from the same junction or space, right? And you note the whole leg moves as one. The thighs have to be included. And the knees really move through space, even though I'm not doing something funky with the knee joint. Knee joint's perfectly happy. It's just it's moving a lot through space. And then we're back to neutral. From here, hip hinge, fold, all the way in half, right? Really important here. You can see in my body that I'm not rounding my back. And then sitting vertical and tip back. And again, that's not to say the spine can't round. It can. But usually people are stiff in the pelvis and then they round like this to try to stand up, and maybe you can see it. I have not created the correct change. I have to be long through the torso, fold through the pelvis to prepare to stand up. So let's do that one more time. Hang those arms nice and loose. And then we slide the feet a little back, fold from pelvis, and remember to stand up is actually forward first. Then you launch yourself up towards vertical. To sit down, the weight stays underneath the ground, under your feet. Now that hip junction, important here. Again, a lot of times people round their back and push their knees instead of booty back like that. Then sink and fold at the hips. That'll bend the knees correctly and then land in your chair. So let's just do that 3-4 times at your own rhythm. Try to get flow to it eventually. Those of you feeling more comfortable, remember, you can sort of put a little momentum. You can flow, right? You can put a little something on it, right? But you got to make sure you're moving from the correct place. Same thing here. You can hinge and then sink, right? Quote unquote faster. But the moment I say faster, usually people tighten up and try to rush. So don't. Just stay super relaxed and just and super relaxed and right. And make sure what I just saw a couple of you do was this, pushing the knees. I don't even want to do it because it's not good for the knees. Pushing them this way when you're getting up. And then your body's behind. Remember, you have to go here, right? You have to get that torso forward. You got to get that before it can be truly safe on the body. Otherwise, you're micro-injuring yourself every time. And then on a long enough timeline, it shuts function. So make sure you have that feeling of space everywhere. Now, don't sit in the chair. Just do a couple of these where we fold, sink all the way down. You might even touch the chair with your booty, but don't sit. Just come all the way back up. And then add to it that pelvis forward, middle, back, sink, rise. All right, keep working on that one. This is a quintessential and very unique practice that I really have only seen in Tai Chi and Qigong and Taoist practice. This understanding of this squat that isn't a power squat. It's like a standing fetal position. It's this folding all your parts, letting that back softly round, and then rising up, and then finding this soft arch. So it's taking the mechanisms and squishing them and then extending them and arching them and just trying to turn it all into veal, right? Take our beef jerky, right? As the body becomes, it becomes stiff and less hydrated, and we want to make it more juicy, soft, and fluid, right? Now, you got your chair on your right. Go stand in front of it. Fingertips touch it. Rock into your toes a little. Back into your heels a little. As you feel more capable with this one, you might just lightly touch the chair, but you're not really using it. Because we want to get to where we feel like we could keep our equilibrium, whether we're tipped a little forward or we're arranged back a little. And then go into your toes, stay there and lift those heels way up. Down. Rock back and lift your toes way up. Down. Go into the toes and lift the heels. Down. Heels, lift your toes. Down. One more. And down. Heels of your hands on the back of the chair. Walk back. Now, keep that long, straight spine and column all the way to the crown and fold right at the hip crease so you get your butt stretch, hamstring stretch, shoulders back. Basically a downward facing dog. Chest up, hips forward. Just take the pressure off the pose a moment. And one more time. Booty way back. Arms straight. And chest up, hips forward, walk forward towards your chair. Come back to Zhong through the whole body, straight down to the earth. Turn and face forward. Step a little bit back from your chair. And next set of exercises. So just touch your navel, touch your belly button. So if we move from there, from the middle of the body, then we don't have to go very far to get our body weight over above the right leg. Soften the right leg so more weight goes down through it. And notice if you're doing anything funky like leaning the head or pushing your hip out too far. It's just a small adjustment. And then sink through the leg. And see if you can feel this right here, just this light quality in your other foot. Forward, back, side. It should have ability to move a little bit because you've allowed this leg to actually do its job. Now switch from your navel over, not too far. Remember the saying is the primary direction is down. So it's a little bit over, but mostly down through the leg. And just check and see. Any freedom been created with that foot? Foot should be able to move and no spilling on the teacup that's on your head. All right? Now let's take that up a notch. Change the weight to your right leg. Sink through the right leg, your right leg. Now your left foot being empty, lift the left heel to the tippy toe. Place that heel down and switch. All the way to your left leg. Sink through it. Right heel lift, tippy toe down. Notice, shift down through right leg, that my foot's not jumping back. Sometimes people do that. Just float that leg forward, like you're getting ready to step it up a stair or step it forward, and then switch. Tippy toe. Now from here, you might want to have your fingertip on the chair, float the foot up. Some of you will feel like you don't need that. That's fine. Lift it, set it down, switch. All the way down your right leg. Left tippy toe, float it, set it down, empty. No body weight, change. Sink through the left, tippy toe right, float the right, set it down, change. Tippy toe left, float, down, change. Now hand on the chair for sure, maximum range. Go tippy toe. Lift that knee all the way up, as high up as it can get, and then all the way back down and repeat on that same leg. So now we're taking that leg and folding it and extending it. So Shen Fa, body mechanism method, the foldability, extendability, foldability, extendability. So that should soften out and make this leg more sung, more pliable. Switch. Take that pliable leg, make it the sturdy conduit leg. Now your other leg ready, hand on chair. We fold it up completely, right? And then soft and long. And fold, extend. So when this gets softer and looser through the whole chain, then it can draw up and down. So then it starts to have pop. It has function again. When it's stiff, it's like you're fighting to get it everywhere. But over time, you're softening it out. You're squeezing and extending and squeezing and extending like a dough almost, right? And down. Now switch each time. Shift into your left leg, right leg empty. Retract, extend, and switch. Retract, extend, and switch. So right away, we're getting the fundamentals of what they call separate yin and yang. We have a middle that's constant, and then we have one is yin, one is yang, and then they switch. Yin and yang. Yin and yang. They have to be able to transform back and forth. Rather than be two stuck legs that we are stuck walking on, they have to change their state, right? Now, Make sure you're somewhat back from your chair. Stand upright. Weight goes down through your left leg. Empty your right foot and place the heel in front. Bring it back to where it was and switch. The weight down through the right. Left foot, touch. Back, switch. So you're down where you are. That makes this foot steppable rather than I'm stuck to this foot when I step. So it's empty. Switch again. Empty. Now, right foot in front, leave it there. From your middle, commit down through that right leg. That should move you forward, your back foot empty. And then commit down through your back leg. So your front leg is empty. Down moves you forward. Primary direction is down, moves you back. Again, down, down. Can you do it effortless? Like you're falling. Fall down through the body to the earth, right? Level 2, fingertips touching that chair, front leg empty from the hip, float that empty leg, touch the heel softly, and then down through that leg. Now your back leg empty, a little bend to the knee. So a little proving ground. Is it really empty? Commit. Once it's full, then the other empty could lift. And then commit. And the back one. Bend. And commit. Teacup. Middle. Commit. And back. Now let's go level 3. Hand on the chair so you can maximum lift, fully extend, shift. So we're now bringing that back leg all the way up, soft and long back, and then shift. Folding it up, extending, shift. Bringing it up, reaching it back, shift. Switch sides, right foot next to left foot. Change the weight, side step, shift so you're closer to the other chair. Let's do that empty heel step. Put the weight down through the right, touch the left heel, reverse, heel. So be able to do this eventually. Quicker and quicker by being loose. Boom, 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 right? Eventually that becomes your go-to dance move, right? Now left foot in front. All the way down through the left. Then reverse all the way down through the right. The feet are like wheels. Wheel and reverse wheel. Wheel. Reverse wheel. Wheel. Reverse wheel. Now, front leg empty from the hip. Float down. 100% commit to your left. Back foot empty. Bend the knee like a little flamingo. Touch the toe down. 100% commit. From the hip. Lift. Down. 100% commit. And then from the knee. Down. 100%. So it's just that proving ground. Often when people pull up, they throw off their equilibrium versus if it's truly empty, right? No disturbance. And then same thing here. If you're truly, you got it situated, there's be no disturbance to any part of you. Level 3. Hand on chair so you can maximum, down, shift. Someday maybe you're doing this with no support, no hand support, and you're maybe adding some of that pop, right, to the movement. Right, but you don't need to rush it. Just know there's room to grow. Loose, right, fluid. So, and switch. Side. We're here. All the weight in your left leg, right foot in front. Let's go shift, step, shift, reverse, shift, step while the foot is still empty. That's the key. Often when the foot goes back, people's bodies drift and it's like they almost fall, but they barely catch. Versus empty with no weight and then skillfully fall through the body. Right? And again, shift, step with no body weight at all, and then shift. And then we go shift, step with no body weight, shift. One of the other reasons this is valuable is that if I'm walking where I've already committed and I step and I bump into something, I'm really pot committed. Versus if I'm here and I go to move this foot and it bangs into something, catches a stair, catches a corner of a table, whatever, it's empty, so it actually bounces off of it and doesn't get stuck there usually, but you haven't committed your body. So getting that idea of like you're stepping, finding a safe zone, and then committing. Stepping without having committed, then you commit. Same thing going backwards. So we're not going, I sure hope I get there. It's step, then shift. Level 2, float, down, shift. Obstacle, float, over, soft and long back to the earth. Remember, you don't fall with the foot. You elongate, then you connect. Little flamingo, toe down, shift. There's that obstacle behind this heel. You got to come up, tuck, soft and long, no body weight, then commit. Lift, lower, commit. Obstacle, commit. Flamingo. Loose shoulders. Crown buoyant. Middle pivot floating along. Let's go level 3. Hand on chair. Maximum. Down. Commit. Back leg empty. Let's go maximum range. Full knee bend. Full hip fold. Full extend, soft and long down. Then commit. And then your back leg. Forward and up. Back. Commit. This leg empty so it can lift, fold, tuck, and extend, all without losing equilibrium. Then commit. Up, down, commit. Maximum range. Commit. Maximum. And lift. And lift. Switch sides. Closer to your other side. All the weight in your right, left foot in front. Let's go level 1. Just casual. Casual. 2-step forward. 2-step back. This is the best time to, if you're using your chair a lot, to practice no chair. Just see if you can get that feeling of loose. You know the chair's there if you need it. But you're practicing being relaxed, connected to the earth, in transit. Level 2. Float, down, shift. Now that back foot empty, float up and over. Shift. Back leg empty, flamingo. Back, shift. Now this front leg, float, tuck, and the toughest part, soft and long without committing any weight to it. Then plug into the leg. Lift, lower, plug into the leg. That back leg empty. Keep it empty the whole time. Then you decide plug-in time. Reverse. Same thing. Floating, still empty, and then decide when it's plug-in time. Level 3. Hand on chair. Maximum, soft and long, shift. maximum. Heel to butt, hip hinge, soft and long, down, commit. Up, back, commit. Up, tuck, reach, commit. One more. Move to the left side of your space. Turn and face down range. So if you set up as I had you set up, your chairs should be on your left, spaced enough that there's a gap, sort of danger gap, but the chairs are close enough that you can get to them if you needed to. Level one, all the weight in your right leg, left foot in front. Now, what you can really see if I'm sideways like this is that when I step the foot, I do not advance forward. I only advance when I'm 100% committing to my new location, my new foot. So when this foot goes, don't advance. Advance when you commit to that foot. Step without advancing, then advance. So be able to discern those two events. Commit and move, step, don't move. Commit and move. In reverse, commit when you move when you commit to the back foot. Now, step without leaving that foot. Then commit. Step without leaving where you are. Then commit. Step, commit. Step, commit. Step, commit. Again, if you start feeling more comfortable, you can keep those events, but sort of blend them together. So it starts to have flow, down step, down step, down step. So to the degree that you can do the first primary thing, which is down. If I'm truly down, then this foot is steppable, kickable. There's a lot it can do if I'm truly down. And then I got to get down there. Then this one's ready. And then I got to get down there. Down, step down. So it's making sure you don't lean or get like that when you step, right? Can you see that difference of falling back or falling back? It's there. And then it's there. Now try to do it with fewer number of steps. So just a little longer stroke. And then try one round where it's stepping over obstacles each time. That puts a larger demand on stabilizer ability. Because you're asking the brain and body to do this large movement, sort of bicycle-like movement. Change. Change. And done. Turn, face forward. All the weight in the left leg, right foot, out and in, out and in. So again, this separation, this function of, see, I'm sunk down here. I'm not locked way up here, therefore touching the toe. There's this little sink. And so now the foot can get out and the heel can touch the ground, out and in, and the body is not moving. And then change the weight down this leg, but keep this whole foot, heel, and toe included on the ground. So this groin is forced open, the leg is forced long. Then commit down through that left leg, your right leg extended, the groin has to open. So the relationship to the ground changes from two stilts that I'm pegging along, peg-legged along, and they're plugs that are also spring, right? Now, left foot empty, slide out, in, out, in, out, in, and then finally down through the left, down through the right, down through the left, down through the right, down, down, down. Now all the way down through your left, right foot, out. Down through your right, all the weight there, left foot slides in. Down through the left, right foot out. Down through the right, left foot in. You should be advancing sideways across the room and yet not leaning or tilting and really not feeling that you're clumsily going along, but rather kind of floating. Right? This idea that your middle floats, still's floating, keeps floating. Top of the crown is just floating along. Teacups all right. Start to add a little bit of that turn, shift and turn. So this is that beginning of intermediate Tai Chi, shift and turn. The bear, washing paw. Right foot out. Now let's bear, swats, jumping fish. Right hand, brush knee, left hand, swat. Step the left foot in. Left hand down, right hand up. We shift into the left, turn, brush, swat. As the right hand goes down, left hand comes up, and ideally the footsteps all together. And then as you shift, you also turn, you brush, and you swat. And then as those hands change high to low, the empty foot steps in. Put all the weight into that empty leg, turn, brush, and swat. As the hands change, step the right foot out. We shift and turn, brush and swat. Step in. Shift and turn, brush and swat. So we're adding variables now. We're adding rotation demand. We're adding high and low. We're adding reaching and returning. Turning and reaching. And this demand of yin and yang all over the place, empty and full, left and right, high and low. And they're not fixed states, right? What was high is now low. What was low is now high. And then they change again. What was empty and stepped out becomes full and close to the body, while the other is, right? So it's changing, changing again. And the more you practice that change slow enough that it's not sloppy and haphazard, then you open up interior space and you find what they call stillness within movement. Let's go brush, knee, and push. Fold, shift, turn, brush, push. Wing roll, fold as you step in, and shift, turn, brush, push. Roll, fold as you step out. Brush, push. So as these movements become less alien and more familiar, then you unlock the underlying practice of flow, of folding in, extending out, and folding in, and extending out. Reverse. Because what often happens is the idea of adding something new and new and new moves, but then you're just floating around on the surface instead of the depth. So we've done brush, knee, and push, could be 10,000 times, but each time, if you're doing it right, could be doing something special, getting a new area, or you get this feeling of fluidity. And cloud hands. Right hand a cloud, left hand the lake. then vapor and rain as you step in, and then and step, step, step. In. The form into the formless. Eventually, you realize there's only one way to do something, let's say, wrong. I guess there's two ways. The main way is you're hurting yourself, like flinging your arm in such a way that you're hurting your shoulder. That's wrong. But the other wrong is not being present all the way to the end, sort of skipping. So these are just some names of some movement options, but there's far more, almost infinite movement options with this body. Let's go there and back again to this time the Chen style cloud hands, where the top hand, palm faces out, right? Instead of back of hand, it's palm, right? Just that little change. Try to add that and be able to track. High hand, palm, palm, step, palm. And I always encourage, especially when you're on your own, feel free to freestyle. Just move, but understand the principles of yinning and yanging, emptying and filling, soft, sung and relax, loose, long, fang sung, soft and long. Stillness inside of movement, right? I'm stepping and that foot's empty. I'm shifting, but I'm not plunking this foot in. I'm leaving that foot so the leg has to elongate. And then I'm floating the foot in, but not putting weight as the hands are changing. And then change. That's a lot of detail that needs to be present inside of and underneath what looks like, oh, that's just moving smoothly, right? But wow, right? And loosely relax. Close, just let the chi settle. Cross and down. Come stand in the middle here between your two chairs. All the weight in your left leg. Right leg empty. Turn the leg out. Turn the hips a little. Turn the shoulders. Turn the head. Then back to neutral and go past neutral. Turn the right toes in, the hips in, the head, everything turns. So now all the weight is in your left leg the whole time. Turn open and close. Open. See this whole side of the room, right? The whole right side. And then close and be able to almost look over your shoulder behind you to the left. And then turn. So you should be able to get nearly 360 degrees of vision just with this change, right? I can see all the way over there, and then I can see all the way over there. And let's switch. Put all the weight in the right leg. Turn the left leg out, open, look to your left, and then internally rotate and turn, right? So the right leg is constant. It does not turn out. Everything else turns, right? Notice that. Turn, turn. So I'm not going anywhere. Right leg is full, but everything else turnable. Okay? Now, all the way through your left, right leg turn out. Now, commit your weight to that right leg and bring your left foot to match. Put the weight down through your left and open. Right? So this empty foot and opening of the body, and then commit and bring the left foot to match. Put the weight through your left Open again. Commit. Empty. Open. Commit. One more time around. Once facing forward again, other way. Turn the left foot out. Commit to it and bring the right foot to match. Commit to the right. That allows you to open. Commit to the left. Bring it around. Commit to the right. Open. Commit to the left. Bring it around. Commit to the right. Open. Left. Bring it around. Again. Tai Chi principles used to reorient where you're facing in the room. Now, right leg turn out. Instead, right leg turn in. And then commit to the right leg. Bring your left foot to match. Do it again. Instead of right leg turn out, turn right leg in. This pigeon toe. And then commit and bring the left foot to match. Right leg empty. Turn the leg and the hips and the body in, and then commit to the right leg. Reorient. Commit to the left leg. Right leg is empty. Pigeon toe. And go around again. Internal, neutral. When you turn the toe in, you're also kind of pinching the groin closed. So there should be this sort of pinched closed state and then neutral state. Pinch closed, neutral. Your left foot is constant. Left leg is constant. Everything else changes around it. Switch directions. Pigeon toe left. Everything neutral. Pigeon toe left. Then neutral. So the weight's in the right leg so your left can step. Then the weight goes into the left leg so your right can reorient. Pigeon toe. Step, go around twice. So these are technical abilities the body has that many people have allowed to basically get cobwebbed and dormant. Like we don't understand how these mechanisms work, but they are able to come back online actually pretty easily. You just have to understand them. Now, all the weight in your left leg, let's go right leg turns out. Shift into that right leg and take your left leg and turn it in. So now in 2 foot moves, you should be able to get 180 degrees away from where you're facing, and then I'll do it again. You can watch if you want or do it yourself if you remember. So it's this turn out, this shift and turn body. Now this left leg turns in and the body turns even more, and now I'm facing 180 degrees again. So let's do that twice more. Turn out, shift, turn in, shift, turn out, opening, drop the weight down through the right leg, turn everything in, closing, and again, opening, shift. So reorienting wherever you need to go and realizing it's Tai Chi. It's right underneath you. You do it loose. You turn the leg out and shift and turn and rotate. And then you're ready to back up or go forwards or whatever. Switch directions. All the weight in your right leg. Turn that left leg out. Commit all your weight to the left leg. Turn your right leg in. Commit and turn out. Shift. Turn in. Teacup still sitting on your head. If dizziness occurs, just try to slow it down and track your eyes so it's not spinning. The world's not being made to spin. Kind of like the ballet concept of turn out and pick a point on the wall, and then turn in, pick a point on the wall. One more. And neutral. Wing roll fold, settle the chin to the belly. And cross. Now, I'd like to finish today with ballistic movement. Ballistic, like ballistic missile, right? Ballistic movement has some oomph to it, some force. So, when we are doing our normal walking, we're doing this casual walk, right? Where there's no real ballistic movement. We're just using the legs, kind of casually moving. Now, in boxing, fencing, other martial arts, other sports, there's this, like in basketball, there's defensive slides. I don't know if any of you are basketball fans, but that's very different than this step, shift, step. So what makes it ballistic is that the leg here is loaded, right? So we'll do the forward version first. So come set up as if we're going to do our first exercise, forward and back. So all the weight goes into your left leg, and if your left leg is locked, it has no ballistic power, right? The same way a spring that's fully extended has no stored power, right? It can't spring because it hasn't been loaded. So that's the importance of this Tai Chi sink. So you sink a little into your back leg, your front leg is empty. So now I can actually push off and advance forward and make sure this leg also, you sink through it rather than lock into it. So you sink. And then we're going backwards. So it's push off and take the weight down. So the danger would be you get all this ballistic force going and you're over your skis and you fall, right? So that's this down. Primary direction is still, I'm advancing quite a bit, but the weight is going where I'm sending it, down to the earth. I'm going back, push off, but the weight is going down to the earth. So see if you can get that flow a little bit. Note also that all weight, no weight, and then all the weight, and this foot comes up, but it doesn't have any weight in it. Push off, retreat. So in boxing, this is that push, right? And retreat. So it's got a little ballistic quality, loaded, and then going, right? And then loaded, be relaxed. Teacup, I don't know that a teacup wouldn't spill doing this, but have the idea that even though I'm advancing, I didn't send my teacup across the room or send it back across the room. There's still a floating middle, advance, retreat. And the speed at which I can send myself here and let it get to the earth, to the loaded position, is the speed at which I could go back. So then you want to be able to go forward, back, right? Down to the earth, down to the earth, down, down. I'm pushing and launching, but I'm storing, and then I'm pushing and launching and storing. Launch, store, launch, store. Launch, store, launch, store, right? Switch to the other side. So put the weight in your right leg, side step, shift. Put all the weight in your right leg again. Left foot is empty. So instead of just shift, which is very functional, right? Instead, this foot is empty. We're stored in the back leg, and we push and advance and slide that back foot up, but keep it empty. And then this leg is stored, and we push and retreat. So just do that. Play with that. Once you get the feel for it, you don't have to wait for me. You can just play. Just play with kind of launching, but make sure you sink it to the earth. You feel loose. You're not tight, not hitting the brakes. And then shoo, shoo, down. And it should still be song, soft and relaxed. So in fact, there's There's more pop in a loosely stored leg with softness than there is if I'm muscle tight. I'm actually impeding my own power if I'm tight. Whereas if I'm loose, I can just ping, 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 down to the earth, down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, down, down, down. You could imagine a sword, right? Fencing, ha, ha, right? Or boxing, ha, back. So it's very common. It's a very common movement, useful movement. Plus, it gives us strength in our legs. It returns this feeling of, oh yeah, pop, there's some bang, there's some gunpowder in these legs. That isn't there when we're locked and stuck and up like this and posture like this. So then we're walking and the back hurts and the shoulders. So all of that is what's just less ideal than this loose, okay, shoulders, neck, soft. And now I've got some pop in this body. I can move, right? And yet keep balance, right? Okay, enough of that. Wing roll fold. Settle. And hands up. Back of one hand. Palms. Back of other hand. Palm. Groin. Hip flexors. Tail. Lower back. And then the squat with the sweeping hands around the outside to the inside, all the way up past the groin to your belly button. Twice more. Groin. Hip flexor. Tail. Lower back. Outer channels of the legs around to the inner channels coming up. Belly button. One more. Groin. Hip flexors. Tail. Lower back. Outer. Inner. Navel. Outer arm to the shoulder. Turn. Inner arm to the wrist and off. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 5 on this side. Up, turn, down, and off. We're just resetting the ideal flow. Bounce. Shake. Swing. Flap, wrap, slap. And close. Settle. Seal. Thank you so much, everybody. Great job. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to unmute and ask. Always share comments or insights as well when you have them. Anything?
Early in our movements, as we go through the steps in a workout, there's one where you flex your foot back and forth, toe, like that, and then you turn it side to side, and then you rotate the toe around.
Yeah, the sort of.
My left foot has like very little flexibility there. The right foot is fine. I'm wondering how I can increase the range of my left foot.
Generally speaking, you spend at least twice as much time on it on your own. Like you give it extra attention, right? Like if you were cleaning a spot outside on your deck and there was one area that had a big accumulation of crud all over it, you wouldn't just scrub both areas the same amount, right? You'd spend extra time over there and scrape. You might even get out a different tool and go after it. And You might have to get a different substance and go after it. So when you have something that's, you'll have to unmute. But yeah, you have to
So give
just
it
give
extra
it more
time.
time. Give it like sometimes you gotta like it doesn't mean necessarily doing more number of exercises. It's like if it's stiffer, if you're trying to keep up with me when we're doing point and flex, you're probably not going as far, but doing the reps. So it's better maybe for you to point, hold, point further. You'll probably run into some calf cramps. That's often what'll be in there is muscles upriver from the mechanism that are dense, and that's what's limiting it. And so then when you push through that, you'll go, holy crud, you'll find all this stuff up here, and then you pull back. So it might be fewer number of reps, but more time really kind of pushing through the density, right? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah,
So
that's
just kind of
helpful.
how you, and that's where the daily practice is so good. We do this once, maybe twice a week if you're coming to class. But every morning getting up and also secondly, a massage gun or a roller or having someone come in and dig into your calf and put an elbow in there so the different things you're attacking it with, but that area is telling you, hey, I'm like your big snag in the plumbing. And so giving that extra time, extra attention.
Okay, good. That's helpful. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Lana, were you going to say something? Okay. Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good to see you, Donna. Welcome
Yeah,
back.
thank you.
Take care, everybody. I'm here Friday. See some of you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.